I'm here with top Riverside criminal defense attorney Michael Scafidi. And Mike, I want to talk to you today about jail alternatives here in Riverside County. So let's say someone has a third-time DUI, they have a drug case, or basically any time when they have to serve county jail time. And we all know that the Robert Presley Detention Center and the local jails are horrible places to be, to live, to spend the night. Would alternatives exist to actually seeing the inside of a jail?
Typically in Riverside County, as an alternative to straight time in jail, will be the weekend work release program, which can be done on Saturdays and Sundays. It's the sheriff's labor program, which can be done Monday through Friday. And it's the house arrest, also known as electronic monitoring program.
Now, tell us a little bit, starting with the work release program. Does the judge have to approve it for someone to do work release in lieu of actual jail?
Typically here in Riverside County, by way of a plea agreement, there's an agreement between the district attorney and the attorney's office. Mm-hmm. And any agreement as it relates to weekend work release or the sheriff's labor program or electronic monitoring ultimately does have to be approved by the court. The court can say, based upon circumstances, I want straight time. So in essence, the judge does have to approve any alternative to straight jail time.
So as a criminal defense lawyer, if you're working out a deal to get your client work release in lieu of jail time, you usually got to get the DA on board, and then you got to get the judge on board.
Correct. First, we're going to deal with the DA, and then ultimately the court has to approve that. But typically we'll see if the DA and our office reach an agreement, it's a rare occasion that the court will not agree with that.
So if you get everybody on board, you get permission to do work release in lieu of jail time. Logistically, how does that work for the client?
Well, here in Riverside County, they have two options. If they want to work Monday through Friday, they can go to the sheriff's labor program. They have to bring $80 cash and a photo ID to the downtown sheriff's facility, and they'll be given work release assignments from that facility. If they want to do work release on the weekends, they have to go to the Larry Smith Correctional Facility, which is located in Banning on Hargrave. Mm-hmm. And they'll have to pay $80 cash, by the way. No credit cards or checks. It's a cash-only business, a photo ID, and they'll be assigned to a weekend work assignment. Typically what we'll see is working on the side of a freeway, picking up trash or clearing away weeds, things of that nature.
So essentially, it's a separate program for weekends versus weekdays.
Correct.
Could you do both? Let's say you want to knock out your time. You want to do 7 days a week. Could you enroll in both?
No, in Riverside County, you actually have to make the election for the sheriff's labor program or the weekend work release program.
So you can do either weekends or weekdays.
Correct. Most of our clients here in Riverside County, they'll choose the weekend work release program because if you choose the weekend work release program, you also have the option of being evaluated for the house arrest program.
I see. And I want to get to that in just a second. But before I get there, let me ask you about what it's like. So let's say I'm in the work release program. I get approved. I'm set up. I'm registered. It's Saturday. I go to do my day. What is my day like?
You're going to be assigned a specific area. Mm-hmm. You're going to report to that area at about 7:30 in the morning. You're going to work to approximately 3 to 3:30 in the afternoon for whatever the assignment is. Typically in Riverside County, we'll see people cleaning up the freeway on the side of the road. You get a lunch break, and ultimately the workday ends late afternoon, 3:30ish or so.
So it's about an 8-hour day. It's labor, but it's not terribly arduous.
I would agree with that. It's labor, it's laborious, but it's not as if I don't want people to have a picture of people breaking rocks with sledgehammers. It's certainly not that.
It's not like one of these debtor prisons in the South where you're sort of doing monstrous labor and sort of breaking your back.
There's no chain gang. There's no boss going to have some water. It's not like that. But typically, though, in Riverside County, it's hot in the summer. It can get easily into 100, 105 degrees. So it is not for the physical faint of heart. You do have to have the physical ability to do the work, and sometimes our clients don't. And what we'll do is we'll try to make sure that we steer them toward the electronic monitoring house arrest program.
Now let me ask you about that, the house arrest. How does that work?
What happens is you're evaluated for that program. You have to report to the Larry Smith Correctional Facility on Hargrave in Banning, and you'll have to pay $80 cash. You have to show a photo ID, and you'll be evaluated for that program. Typically in Riverside County, unlike the neighboring county to North San Mateo County, you can apply for the electronic monitoring program prior to going and reporting to the work release program. Well, there's a number in the plea paperwork that you can call in advance to start the pre-selection or pre-screening process.
And so, what is the criteria in the selection process?
If it's a misdemeanor, and if you're eligible for work release, you're eligible for electronic monitoring in Riverside County.
Okay.
You'll fill out the application. They'll gather the information. There's normally a site inspection of your home.
What about felonies? If I'm convicted of a felony, can I do house arrest?
You can. Yes. If you're eligible for work release, even on a felony conviction, you are technically eligible in Riverside County for house arrest electronic monitoring.
And if I get registered in this program, I mean, logistically, how does house arrest work?
Typically here in Riverside County, you'll be allowed to leave your house for up to 12 hours a day for work reasons or for school reasons.
How do they monitor when I'm home and when I'm not?
You'll have an electronic bracelet. There'll be a bracelet physically on your ankle, and it'll be hooked up to your landline phone so they can call. They'll know you're there.
Do I shower with it? Do I sleep with it?
It's waterproof. You can shower with it. You can bathe with it. You can mow your lawn with it.
And I'm not allowed to take it off, right?
You're not allowed to take it off. In fact, taking it off would be a violation of the rules of the work release program and would get you booted out of the work release program.
And maybe into actual jail like Robert Presley.
Oh, no doubt. If you're not going to follow the rules that are laid out in the electronic monitoring work release program, then the alternative is to go do straight time.
So I guess a take-home message for our viewers is that even if you have the misfortune of being convicted or having a probation violation here in Riverside County where you have to do some jail time, that if you have a good criminal defense lawyer like yourself, oftentimes arrangements can be made to do house arrest, work release, community service, so that you never actually see the inside of a jail.
I would agree with that. On the occasions where the clients that we represent have to enter a guilty plea or no contest plea and suffer consequences of their arrest and conviction, we're able, most times, to be able to have them avoid straight jail time to these alternative sentences of house arrest, sheriff's labor, or electronic monitoring.